Hello and welcome to this video. I'm going to explain to you some of the basically revise to you some of the things which you may have found difficult in answering these questions. So basically what you need to be doing is, when you're answering these questions for tomorrow's test, make sure you read the question correctly and then go through the flow of logic. So what exactly you need to find out over here. It says what happens when the following code executes. So basically, if you look at this code, it is displaying something in the message box. This is message box.show. It displays something. It's just this displays something. This also displays something, and it displays after some condition if it's true or false. So let's see. First of all, we have two numbers, 4 and 5, stored in variables num1 and num2. So you need to be able to read these conditions. This is not less than. This is not equal to, it is greater than sign. This is the greater than sign, and the sign which looks like an L is a less than sign. So you read it like this: if num1 is greater than num2, that's the question being asked. So which means, is 4 greater than 5? It's 4 greater than 5. That's the question being asked. Is 4 greater than 5? That's the question. So try to write this down in a paper. So if you're feeling confused, so what's the answer? It's not, right? It's false. So it won't come here, and it will go here. If num1, so there is no else over here. There's another if, a separate if, second if. This if has nothing to do with this if. So this if says if num1 is less than num2. So the question being asked now is 4 less than 5? This is the question asking. Yes, it's true. It is yes. So this is true. And then in this case you will come here and say num1 is smaller. So this will be printed, and then again this if has nothing to do with this if. So it's better you go through this also. If num1 is equal to num2, double equals is the comparison. Is 4 equal to 5? No, it's not. So it won't come here. So only this one, num1 is smaller. So you choose this answer, num1 is smaller. Go ahead. Question 2 says what value will be shown in the message box when the below code executes? So the initial value is 5, value plus plus makes it 6. So this is the second question now which we are looking at. So it's initially 5, the next line it becomes 6 because you do value plus plus, which means value is equal to value plus 1, and then you make a decision. It says value is greater than 5. So you're asking, is 6 greater than 5? Yes, that's true. So it will go inside. It will go inside this block and say increase the value to 7. So the value becomes 7, and now show in the message box value is 7, and that's the reason why you will use you select this one. So what we see over here is we want to add the sum of all odd numbers which are less than 10. So the odd numbers which are less than 10 are 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So we want to add them together. If you add 1 to 3 is 4, 3 plus 5 is 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16, 16 plus 9 is 25. So you've got total 25 of all these odd numbers below 10. 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. So we want to write a pseudocode to do that. So what do we do basically is any of these choices starting with the sum 0, you automatically know it is not the correct, because you have to do this calculation in a loop. Any of these which is starting the sum is already 1 before the loop, it is wrong, correct? So let's rule this out and also rule this out, because the sum is 1 already. So it's either this one or this one, because the sum is 0. The counter is correct starting at 1 because the number starts at 1 and up till 10. So now let's look at it. What we need to do. We need to check and test if a number is really an odd number. Then we add it to the sum, and then in the loop again the next time also we will check if it's an odd number. We'll add it to the sum. So initially this starts with 1, and we'll check if the counter is odd. 1 is odd, yes, then you add it to the sum. Sum is equal to sum plus counter. Whatever the previous value of sum is, which is 0, add to it the current counter's value, which is 1. So this first time number 1 is an odd number, so the sum's value will become 1. So the sum's value is 1. So next time when this becomes 2, the counter, because we are doing counter plus plus, So it will become 2. So now you automatically you can see counter plus sum. This is not making sense because the update should be counter plus plus, correct? So you rule this out also. So now automatically you come over here and you can see this one, since this is sum is equal to 1, but it has correct counter plus 1, it has this mistake. So you rule this out. This is sum is equal to 0 and this is counter plus 1. So we test this. The first time this will be if the counter is odd, then you add 1 to it. The second time when the counter is 2, is it odd? No, 2 is not odd, so it will not add it to the sum. It will just go directly and make the counter 3. And we'll check now if the counter is odd. Yes, 3 is odd. Okay, so what you do is basically you 1 plus 3 add in sum the previous value plus the current odd number, and then the next time it will become 4. When the counter is 4, is the counter odd? No, it's not odd, so it will not come to the sum. It will go directly to 5. Check if counter is 5. Yes, it is 5, so you add 5 to whatever this number was. Okay, and then 6 and then 7. Yes, add 7 and then add 9, and then you will have 25 in the end, and then it will display sum. So this is the one which you need to be choosing, and then we'll okay, let me just refresh this all. This is the one, this one we have not done because my page got refreshed. Int I is equal to 1, what is needed? What will be the output of the following? ij is, both of them are 1. In loop of 5 it is running 5 times. Every time in for j becomes 1, you see over here. So we have I and we also have j, so both of them we start at 1 and 1. So let's run this loop. What happens? J is 1. What you're basically doing, you're printing out in the list box the value of I and j. So if I mod j is equal to 0, 1 divided by 1 is divisible by 1, and what is remaining? 0. Yes, it's correct. So j is equal to I, so you display 1 1, 1 here and 1 here, correct? So this is your candidate. This is 1 1, this is also 1 1. There's a syntax error, there's no syntax error here, this is 1 1. So all these 3 choices, maybe one of them is correct, you know. The next time the loop comes, you see I plus plus, only now I becomes 2 in the next time. I becomes 2 and j is again 1. And check if I mod 2, 2 divided by 1 and the remaining is 0. No, that's not right. 1 multiplied by 2 is 2 and the remaining is 2. So 2 divided by 1 and the remainder is 0. Is everything divided completely when you divide 2 by 1? Yes, correct. Everything is divided completely. So the remainder is 0 in fact. So again this will come and it will show that j becomes I, so j becomes 2 also, and then you display I and j, so it will become 2 2. So this is 2 2, this is 1 2, this is 2 1. So this is wrong. For your satisfaction, run it a third time also. So I becomes 3 now and j is 1. Okay, I mod j, 3 divided by 1, anything remaining? Yes, everything completely gets divided by 1 because you are dividing everything by 1 already. You see j's value is already always 1, so this will always be 0. So it will be 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. That's a correct answer. Let's move forward. We've done something like this before, but now in this case what is being done, the value is num1 and num2 are the variables. The values are 4 and 5. Num1 is greater than num2, that's wrong. 4 is not greater than 5. Now else if you check if num1 is less than num2, 4 is less than 5, that's correct, and then it is num1 is smaller, and it will not go to else in this case. So it's very similar to the first problem which we did before my page was refreshed. Okay, what will be displayed? The following code is executed. In sum is equal to 0, counter is equal to 5, counter less than equal to 30, counter plus is equal to 5, add 5 to the counter's value. If the counter's value is divided by 5 always, if number is divided by 5 and the remainder is 0, sum is equal to sum plus 5. So the sum, which is 0, add 5 to it. Okay, so let's run this. What's your counter and what's your sum? So basically it's a for loop. It starts with 5 and your sum is 0. Okay, first time. So counter mod 5 is equal to 0. Counter, which is the value of 5 mod 5 is equal to 0. Yes, it is 0. So sum is equal to sum plus 5. Make sum 0 plus 5. Okay, or you want to maybe do like this. Okay, then the next time this counter becomes 10, because counter is equal to counter plus 5. The update adds 5 directly to it, not counter plus plus. Counter plus is equal to 5, so counter becomes 10. Is 10 divided by 5? Yes, it is. So you add 5 to it also. Okay, and the next time counter becomes 15, because counter plus is equal to 5, and you check if it is divided by 5. Yes, then add 5 to sum also. Then you do 5, and you done this how many? You run this how many times? 5 times, 6 times, because this is less than 30. So let's complete this. This is 20, and you plus 5 here. Then this is 25. Then you do plus 5 here, and then when this is 30, because this is less than or equal to 30, it will still go in the loop. If it was less than 30, it would not have gone into the loop. So now let's add these together. 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 5 5 5 5 5. So your correct answer, it looks like, should. So you have done that calculation. Tick on 30. Go ahead. What happens when the following code executes? Right, we've done this again before. Num1 is smaller. Int value is equal to 5, value plus plus. So now what you're doing is, right, value 7. We've done this before also. The following code reads a number from text box entered by user and makes some comparison. It should meet the following conditions: show in a message box if the user is 0, has entered 0. Show in a message box if the user entered number between 1 to 10. Show in a message box if the user entered number between 10 and 100. Show in a message box if the number is greater than 100. What is wrong with the phone? So basically these statements should be showed in the message box. It is 0, it is less than 100, it is less than 10. See, basically it should be between 1 and 10, show less than 10. 10 to 100, show less than 100. And if it is greater than 100, you show greater than 100. If he's entered 0, you should enter 0. So that's basically what is needed over here. So the question is over here, what is wrong with this code? According to this logic, you want to if it's 0, display 0. If it is less than 10, show it's less than 10. If it's less between 10 and 100, show it's less than 100. If it is greater than 100, show 100. So what's wrong? If value is equal to 0, message box dot show 0. Correct. Value is less than equal to 100, show it's less than 100. The condition is correct. Value is less than equal to 10. This is what you show. What's wrong? The wrong is there is nothing wrong with the syntax. The wrong is with the logic. Let's say I say over here the number is 1, so it will come here. 1 is equal to 0. No, it will not show this. 1 is less than equal to 100. Yes, it is, and then it will show less than 100. But what the question was, if it is between 10 and 100, then you show this one. If it is between 1 and 10, you show less than 10. So you see the code will never reach here. If you enter 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 or any number between 1 and 100, this is useless, because less than equal to 100, yes, 1 is also less than 100. So you should place this block after this. So this should come up and this should come down. So it should be looking like this. Else if value is less than equal to 100, then you display less than 100, and then else if value is less than equal to 10, you are doing this now. Display less then 10. From this we change this order only, we bring this up, that's all we are required to do. So this is an if continued above, if value equal to 0 you display 0, etc. Okay, so what should be the if conditions are wrongly placed. The if condition else if value is less than or equal to 10 will never be reached by the compiler, so that's the correct answer. Okay, what's the output of the following code? ij1. Okay, let's do this here. I1 j1. It says every time in the loop what you do is I mod 2 is equal to 0. If 1 divided by 2 is equal to 0, false. So what you do is j is equal to 1. So, and you show it in the list box. So what you do is give the value of j as 1. So 1 and 1. First time 1 1 will be printed. Second time, because this is I++, I becomes 2. Okay, and j remains as 1 as its previous value. If 2 mod 2 is equal to 0, if 2 divided by 2 completely divides and there is no remainder, yes, 2 mod 2 or 2 remainder 2 is equal to 0. There is no remainder, so j is equal to 1, so you have this 2 here. So the value of j becomes whatever the value of I is. In other words, i's value goes into j. So you have 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 2. These are two candidates. This is the third candidate, 1 1 2 2. What happens the third time? I becomes 3 because this is I++, and now you see, is 3 divided by 0 and remainder is 0? No. 2 ones are 2 and there is 1 remaining to reach 3. So this is false, and it will just come out and write here I and j's value. So it will write 3 and 2 because that's the last value of j. So 1 1 2 2 3 2, that's the correct answer. This is looking the correct answer, 1 1 2 2 3 2, and this is 1 1 2 2 2 3 2 4 2 5 2 1 1 2 2 3 2 4 4 5 4. So these two, the first and the last one, first or fourth, may be correct. So fourth time, right now the j's value is 2, this becomes 4 when you do I++. 4 divided by 2 and the remainder is 0. Yes, it is 0, so j's values is 4, so you make it 4. So you have this 1 1 2 2 3 2 4 2 1 1 2 2 3 2 4 4 because the j's value becomes 4. This is correct and this is wrong. You choose this and move forward, please. 8. The sum of all odd numbers below 10 is 25. What is the pseudocode? Okay, we've done this. 9. What's the difference between the following two pieces of code A and B in terms of their results? So look at this. These two are exactly the same except the if, else, if, else. If. These are three separate ifs, and these else's are connected to this if. Okay, so in terms of the results there is no difference, because if number 1 is greater than number 2, number 1 greater than number 2, show this message. Number 1 is greater than, number 1 is greater, number 1 is greater. If number 1 is less than number 2, if number 1 is less than number 2, show number 1 is smaller, number 1 is smaller. If number 1 is double equal to number 2, so these are three conditions only. You see, there is no difference in terms of the results. The logical difference is there. So this will be a little more slower because the code has to do these three conditions and test them anyway. In any case, even this is true and this is one is done, even if this was true and the message box was shown, it will come over here again and test this, and then if it's true or false, it will do it. If it's true, false, then it will go to the third and test again. However, in this case, if this is true, it will show this message box and then it will skip all this block of code, else, if and else. It will not go to it, it will go after, it will go outside the else block over here. That's the only difference. So you'll select this. There's only logical difference between them. They will show the same results. Question 10, this is a while loop. Which for loop will show equal results as per the while loop? So the while loop says the decision is if x is less than 500, that's what it is testing. Yes, it's 0 right now, so let's display the value of 0 and x plus 5. The next time it will show 5, 0, 5, 10, 15 until 495. That's basically what's happening in this while loop. Which for loop is equal to this? So it should, remember, it should start with 0. So int x is equal to 0. Does it start with 0? No, it does not. So this is ruled out. A is not correct. B, does it start with 0? Yes, it does. So this can be correct. Now C, this is float number and this was int number. On any of these can be correct. Int Z, this starts with 500. It's absolutely wrong. It cannot be correct. So which one is equal to this that can display 0, 5, 10, 15? Only two candidates, B and C. So what it does is basically it is showing us over here int. We are doing calculation in int, so you should also be selecting int, not float. So that's the one which is equal to while. So you select B over here, and you can also select A and B. Basically both of them will be showing the same results over here. Okay, however the answer should be A, because this is the integer we are looking for. So you select A and we just pressed enter, and then we got 100 out of 100 points. Congratulations. I hope you understood and enjoyed. Thank you.